Hey guys, and welcome back to the backtesting series. We're going to talk about what we have so far, so we're going to get right into it. This is what we have so far. I'm going to explain to you the strategy in just a second, but let's quickly recap what we have now. So we've got a 43.2% win rate so far, 136 trades tested. We have so far around 56 R in this year. Now obviously there's still a lot of things that we need to do, a lot of pairs that we need to do, but we ended up last time with around a 33% win rate with 10 trades, and we were up 2.9 R. Now obviously this is a combination of all the pairs combined. So this one, for example, was up, let's see where we have it, this one was up 2.6, and then another one is up 3.5 or 3.8 actually. So in total we are at 56 R right now. But let me quickly explain the strategy and then let's get back into the testing series. So if you really want to get a detailed explanation about the strategy, go and check out my other videos. I've got plenty of videos about the strategy. What I'm trying to do with these videos is I'm mainly trying to just recap and help you understand the strategy properly. So it's fairly simple. It's literally a trend following strategy. What we do is we go and look at a trend. We look for two concepts. We look for a break of structure, aka a boss, and we look for a fair value gap, also called an imbalance. So what we do is we wait for a strong break of structure to the upside in this case. Once we have that, we try to identify a fair value gap around the entry price, so somewhere around here. And then what we do is we wait for price to retrace to that point. So we're literally going to be trend following, and then we draw our fib tool from the low to the high, entry at 75, break even at 0.5, and our TP at 0. So that should look something like this. We'll go back to the entry, get traded in, move our stop to break even once we hit 0.5, and then get our take profit at the 0 level. And an example of a trade looks like this. You have an uptrend, break to the upside, you have a fair value gap down here, another one up here. We're taking our fib tool from the low to the high, entry at 75, break even at 0.5, take profit at 0. So let's get back into backtesting. Let's continue testing this strategy live on FX Replay. Alright, so last time we left off at, I believe, Euro AUD. We had, I think, 3R or something like that. So right now we're going to continue with NZD CAD in 2016. Now, if you do want to check out the strategy, you do want to download it, make sure to check the link down below. It is the first link in the description. You can download the strategy for free and check it out yourself. And if you have any questions about it, make sure to reach out to me on Discord. My name will be somewhere up here. You can check it out. You can DM me on Discord and I'll get back to you. Make sure you understand the strategy properly. So one thing that we are always going to do before we get started trading is we're going to make sure that we are keeping the same zoom level, because we don't want to be looking at the chart like this and then like this. We want to make sure that that is consistent. Right now, the way this is going to go is we're going to test every trade that I see. I'm just going to take it, explain why I'm taking it. This, for example, will be a really simple trade, but it is valid. Right now, we are moving downwards. What you'll notice is that I tend to trade very aggressively. So I'll take trades like this as well. To me, this trend that you see over here is pretty much the same thing, but a little bit more aggressive over here. Now it looks like we missed this trade, so I am going to skip that. Alright, we see another trade down here. What you can do is you can either take the highest point or the most recent point. Kind of depends how aggressive you want to be as a trader. I am relatively aggressive as a trader, so I'm going to take the most recent point. But if you're a little bit more conservative, you want to take the higher point. I was going to delete that trade actually, because it pretty much got to my entry and then hit break even, and that's when I'll delete it, but it ends up being a break even anyways. So alright, let's move on. We see a new trade being formed over here. We see a break. We see a fair value gap. The trend that we have is over here. Fairly simple. Let's see what happens. Taking our fib tool from the low, or in this case the most recent low, up to the high. Entry on the 75. Stop at 1. Take profit at 0. Auto break even at 1R, which is basically the 0.5 level. I'm going to extend this a little bit. I'm not going to recalculate the entire position because it's so minimal. In this case, price we skip price forward a little bit too fast, so that obviously doesn't really count. But that happens in real life as well sometimes, so I'm not too worried about that. Ends up being a break even. Let's move on. Alright, we see a short here. Let's see if we get back to that price point we do get really close to it. I usually only place my entry once we get really close to the actual point of interest. I don't want to be placing it and then removing it constantly. Deleting the straight, got close to my entry, but then hit take profit, so we are deleting that. We're looking at a different trade now, which is that long position over here, which I'm going to take from the most recent point, which is over here. Let's see if we even get towards that point. We don't. Looks like we might. Yeah, okay, we never get tapped into that position anyway, so we're going to delete that. We're moving on. It would have been a valid trade. However, right now what I'm seeing is that price already mitigated it, so that wick invalidates it. If you don't understand, make sure to DM me. I'll get back to you on that and explain it a little bit more thoroughly. I do want to keep the base up in this video, so. Alright, seeing this short trade over here, fairly simple trend. Is it hitting risk free? Let's see. That is our first winning trade. That's +3. Moving on, we see a really sharp drop, but I tend to not zoom out to catch that. I'm just going to be looking at more recent price action. It could be a valid trade all the way up here, but it's a little bit large for me. I like to focus more on recent price action. Kind of depends on how aggressive you want to be as a trader. I kind of look at it like this. If it's within my point of view, I'm going to take it, but I don't want to start zooming out just to catch a trade, really. Because to me, that means chasing trades, and having to zoom out means being inconsistent, and I don't want to be inconsistent with my trades. So far nothing. Very sideways price action so far in NZD CAD. A lot of wicks, as you can clearly see, but we are up 3R so far. We had 2 break-even trades and what is it, a 1 winning trade. Let's see what we get. We want to wait until we see a little bit more clear price action, obviously. Alright, this is a valid trade, so a little bit aggressive, but it is valid, but it looks like we missed that. Okay, we got lucky there. We missed out on a losing trade. Don't be too upset about it. If you miss out on the trade, don't rewind price, because you might as well miss out on a winning trade as well. So I'm not really too worried about it. Just looks like we might have missed this trade as well, but we're going to market order into that, so it's not too far gone. Set that to 1R. Alright, that's a losing trade, -1. Sometimes price skips forward a little bit too fast on FX Replay. It does that. That's because this software is a little slow sometimes. It tends to bug out a little bit. That's okay though. Don't worry about that. If it happens, just make sure to keep going. You don't want to be sugarcoating or over-obsessing over your results too much, because it's going to make it really difficult to do this for a long period of time, because you want to do a lot of testing. I get questions every now and then like, do I really have to do that much testing? And the answer is yes, you do. You really need to do a lot of testing. That's really just a part of trading. Everyone who tells you that backtesting is not necessary is really lying to you, honestly, because there's no way to get profitable without backtesting. You're not necessarily backtesting just to see if the strategy works, because we all know that the strategy works. You're backtesting to train your eyes and train your mind to be okay with losses. And if you know that you tested 1,000 trades or multiple years of data, and you had a profitable edge, and you know that you managed to lose 5 times in a row, even though you were profitable, then you don't panic once you start losing a couple of times in a row. That's why you're backtesting, to make sure that you understand your edge. And it's not really about knowing if something is profitable or not. We all know that a lot of strategies do work. All right, let's market order into this one. Alright, looks like an instant loss. So we are... Oh, never mind. That looks like it might have bugged out. Oh yeah, eventually did take it. So that's -1. Let's see. Another long position here. It looks like we might have missed it. I am skipping price forward a little bit too fast today. Something I am noticing. Now we are not going to market order into this because it is above entry price. If it was below entry price, I would have gone, with a market order. But seeing as it is above. Well, right now it's below, but it was above. That's why I'll go in it with a limit order. So far we are in June. We are up 1.8R. I'm not sure if that's correct, actually. That should not be the case. We should be down a little bit. I think it might have bugged out once I took that market order. I think it may have messed with that a little bit. What we're going to do is I'm going to take a loss here on purpose. Just a random loss. Don't try and copy this. Just a random loss to make sure that that is back to the way it should be, because this is obviously not correct. Now this is going to have to be a little bit lower, because I think it might have bugged out and counted it as a win. Now, don't tell me that this is... Okay, fuck that. It counts that as, I believe, a win. Oh, never mind. It counts that as a break-even. What I'm trying to do, guys, is I'm trying to get a loss here on purpose, because I know that the stats are not accurate. Because I shouldn't have taken a win there. I should have taken a loss. There we go. I'm not going to count that, but it counted this, I believe, or this one as a win, which it shouldn't have. And I always mention don't skew your data too much, but when a platform like FX Replay just bugs out and literally gives you a win when it's a loss, then obviously you want to correct that, because that's just false. Alright, we see a short trade over here. And the main goal of these videos is kind of to give you an idea and help you train your eyes to see the strategy and see the setups that I'm seeing. And I hope it helps. You guys are able to see the strategy a little bit more clearly as well. We get a winning trade over here. We don't get a continuation. Why? Because there's no body closure below, so we want to wait until we see a body closure before taking another trade. Alright, we see this trade down here. Now the reason I haven't taken it from up there, from up here, is because this isn't really structured to me. It's just barcode sideways price action. So yeah, I think that's should have been a break even. Oh, it is. It's a little slow, the platform today, but that's okay. It's always slow. So far I'm not seeing anything. We are in September now. We do see that trade over here though. A little large, but that's okay. Gonna delete that. I got too close to my entry without tagging me in, and then hit break even. Target in this case. So we are going to be deleting that trade. Get another trade down here. See if that even comes back to entry. Might not. Takes a long time to get back to entry, so we're going to delete that trade and move on to the next. Like I said, if it gets out of my point of view and it starts going somewhere else, then I'll delete it. This one's valid. Ends up being a break-even trade. A lot of break-even trades on NZD-CAD so far. And it seems like it's very little, only 3.8R. But you gotta understand, you're trading 28 pairs on the 4-hour time frame. It's a very simple analysis, and you get, you know, maybe 200 to 300 trades a year, maybe a little bit more. And then you make 3, 4, 5R on every pair, and you got 28 pairs. That's obviously, that is 60, 70, or 80R per year, which is very, very solid. And anyone who tells you that they make more is either bullshitting you, or they're day trading very intensively and they don't have any free time left. That's the thing. Yes, you can make a little bit more if you're actually actively day trading. This is a valid trade that we missed. That would have been a valid loss, to be honest. Yeah, you can make more by actively day trading, but time, money-wise, you're not really making that much more, because you're spending a few hours, 3, 4, 5 hours a day trading. Meanwhile, you could be focusing those hours on, you know, expanding your capital, gathering investor capital, or another business. You know, he might be running an e-com business, whatever. This trade is already too late. Got too close to my entry, then to target. So I was gonna delete that anyways. I hadn't placed it yet though. Same here, pretty much. All right, we are in December now. December, I only trade until December 15th. That's when I stopped trading. Let's see. That is a losing trade over there. -1, and then we are approaching, like I said, December 15th, which is right around where I stopped trading for the year. I believe, yeah, we already hit that. So that's the year. NZD CAD, I think we finished with 2.7 R. That's pretty decent. It's not bad. 2.7 R. Let's see. Session analytics, 37.5% win rate. Now I think I forgot to add that to my strategy, so let me quickly just add it to the strategy, which is called YouTube here. And then let's take a look at the overall results that we have so far. It's over here. So this is pretty solid. Session analytics, like I said, 37.5% win rate. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of that for myself. And let's take a look at what we have so far. If we type in YouTube, 150 trades, 42.7% win rate. I mentioned this quite a few times throughout the series. It is going to get a lot lower, this win rate. It's probably not going to stay at 42. That's like abnormally high for a strategy. But total so far, 59 RR in the year, November being our only losing month. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you want to check out the strategy, the link is in the description down below. You can download it for free. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Discord. My name is somewhere up here. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.